Welcome to Craig Back Zone.
Yeah, right. So I love me some Charlotte. I lived in Brooklyn all my life. Well, okay, we moved out here when I was 13, and I went to Sedgefield Middle School. Then I went to Myers Park High School, and then I went to UNC Charlotte. So like, I love me some Charlotte. And my mom's an RN, which is why we moved, because as you know, we know it's
Right.
RNville here in Charlotte. So she applied for a job here and in Atlanta. And now it's known as Atrium. Back then it was CMC hired her, and then boom, the rest was like history. For real. Yeah.
So what's it like? So even though I'm from here, I lived in South Florida in school. And so the majority of Floridians are from up north.
Yeah.
I kind of have some, like, I don't know, New York mentality, even though I'm from here. So what was it like to move from up north to the South?
Yeah, love, absolutely. So huge culture shock, to be honest. So I'm also Afro-Latina. And for me, that was something that when we moved, I found in the beginning, like I was trying to hide, and I didn't realize how that culture shock really played a part in a lot. So like, for example, in New York, we never assume anybody's just anything, right? Like you could be Puerto Rican and I can be Panamanian, right? We never assumed. There would even be some cases, Katie, where like I would go in a bodega as like a kid with my mom or with my dad, and immediately they're speaking Spanish to me because there was no assumption. When I moved to the South, I realized like, nobody asked me, or I'm noticing like I'm not really using my Spanish as much as I was back home. So I would say that really was the biggest thing. But other than that, everybody's so nice and so kind. I feel like this city, it was meant for me to be here because I was this nice and kind in Brooklyn. Okay.
Right.
So
Damn.
exactly. And people would be like, she's not from here. And I was from there. But I would say that the city's beautiful. But that's the only thing that I saw really was that.
Now, do you prefer like and again, this is just because I was around it for so many years. Do you prefer like the New York, upstate mentality of I'll tell you like it is, or do you prefer? I mean, obviously you sound adorable, or do you kind of do you enjoy people sugarcoating things, or?
Yes. Yeah, no, I love that question because honestly, that was something that before I hopped on with you, I had an honest discussion about. So the old me, I used to be like, don't give it to me straight, like sugarcoat, please. But when I started doing this work in like community building, conversation, moderating all those things, especially DE&I realized, you know what? Sugarcoating doesn't help anything. So I'm not going to lie to you, Katie, the pandemic definitely matured me to receive things as is. And even as a New Yorker, it's something that like I still feel like I'm, flexing to accept a little bit because there's some things you can't sugarcoat. So even as a New Yorker, I would say that's something I got to work on is shooting it straight with people, especially in the space of, activism and all things community building, but also sometimes taking it that way too. Because it works both ways.
I agree. I feel like I kind of struggle with that balance as well,
Yeah.